Welcome to the Newsworthy. All the day's news in less than 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. Thank you so much for listening. Today, all eyes on Singapore, and tensions between the US and Canada get even more tense. Plus, the weekend in sports, highlights from the Tony Awards, and the winner at the weekend box office. All that and much more in less than 10 minutes. I'm Erica Mandy. Today is Monday, June 11th. You ready? Let's do this. Well, the world is watching. Tomorrow is the meeting, the historic summit between President Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Both leaders are already in Singapore, where the meeting will happen tomorrow. Today, Fox News says President Trump will first meet with Singapore's prime minister. On the agenda for tomorrow's meeting, though, the AP says the two leaders are expected to first meet one-on-one with translators in a session that could last up to 2 hours. Then they're expected to open it up to more of their advisors. President Trump hopes to convince Kim Jong-un to get rid of North Korea's nuclear weapons, although he said more recently it may take more than one meeting. And don't forget, North Korea doesn't like to open its doors to outsiders. This is the first time a sitting U.S. president and the North Korean leader will meet face-to-face. So stay tuned. Before landing in Singapore, though, over the weekend, President Trump was meeting with some other countries. It was the G7 summit in Canada, the group of 7 industrialized nations that meets each year. It includes the U.S., Canada, the UK, France, Japan, Italy, and Germany. The Wall Street Journal reports all seemed well during the actual meeting. All the countries agreed to put out a joint statement together by the end, but it went south from there. Just hours after Trump left, he changed his mind and said he's not endorsing the statement anymore. He criticized Canada's Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, in a series of tweets, saying Trudeau made false statements and that he's, quote, dishonest and weak. Trump was reportedly reacting to the Canadian Prime Minister's news conference after the meeting, where he said Canada wouldn't be pushed around. Well, now trade tensions between allies are getting even more tense. Celebrity chef and CNN host Anthony Bourdain has died. He hosted CNN's Parts Unknown, and before that, the Travel Channel's No Reservations. CNN says he was known as someone who used food to explore culture and the human condition. He was found dead in his hotel room in France, where he was working on a CNN series. He was 61 and reportedly died by suicide. In fact, a new report found suicide is a growing problem in the U.S. The CDC says it's a public health issue that's only getting worse and needs to be dealt with. But studies have also shown the risk of suicide goes down when people ask for help and they call the National Suicide Hotline. It is 1-800-273-TALK. All right, other things to know today. You can officially say goodbye to net neutrality rules. You might even see some online protests today here and there, like social media graphics or messages about it on certain websites. Remember, net neutrality is basically the principle that internet service providers like Comcast and AT&T cannot block, speed up, or slow down your access to certain online services. So one example is that you should always have the same access to both Netflix and a small blog, no matter how much each of them pay. Those rules were put in place under President Obama in 2015. The Trump administration, though, voted to get rid of them. The FCC says it's just too much regulation that actually hurts the growth of the internet, that companies can't innovate because of all that red tape. And the FCC says things were fine before that new regulation was put in place. But critics say the FCC's action will give certain companies too much power and control over what we, the consumer, get access to online. So what will actually happen today when the rules go away? Probably not much. Some state lawmakers are still trying to pass their own rules, and there are lawsuits underway as well. Experts say companies will probably wait that out to see what happens, and that if changes do come, they'll likely roll out gradually. We talked about this issue in last Thursday's interview segment after the news. You'll hear different viewpoints from 2 different experts, so just look for the episode on Thursday, June 7th, if you want to listen and learn more. You can also say goodbye to one of the first instant messaging apps on the market, Yahoo Messenger. Yahoo's parent company, Oath, says it's going away on July 17th. And TechCrunch reports it's likely because Facebook Messenger and others like WhatsApp and even Snapchat have taken over in popularity. Yahoo is now pushing people to the new thing it's testing, Yahoo Squirrel. It's a group messaging app. By the way, if you use Yahoo Mail or Fantasy Sports, not to worry, that's all staying the same. We have several big weekend wins to talk about. First up, the NBA Finals. The Golden State Warriors won it all. They beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in Game 4, and it means the team got its second NBA title in a row and the third one in just 4 years. Also, as expected, Justify won the Belmont Stakes to become the 13th Triple Crown champion. That's when a racing horse wins all 3 of the main racing events of the year. And finally now to tennis. Simona Halep from Romania took home the Women's French Open title for the first time. Rafael Nadal from Spain won the Men's French Open title for the 11th time. And some more wins to talk about, this time in entertainment. It was time to celebrate the best of Broadway last night. The Tony Awards were at the Radio City Music Hall in New York City. The band's Visit won big with 10 awards last night, including Best Musical. Sarah Bareilles and Josh Groban hosted the night. Also, a teacher credited for saving lives during the school shooting in Parkland, Florida, got the Excellence in Theater Education Award. And the students from that drama department there in Parkland, Florida, even performed an emotional song from the musical Rent. They got a standing ovation. Ocean's 8 took home the top spot at the weekend box office. This movie has well-known stars like Rihanna, Sandra Bullock, Anne Hathaway, and many more. The Hollywood Reporter says the movie brought in $41.5 million in North America on its opening weekend. That's one of the top 10 openings of the year so far. Ocean's 8 is the 4th movie of the Ocean's franchise. And that's it. You are all caught up. There is a lot of news happening this week, so please be sure to subscribe so you automatically download each episode. You can hit the subscribe or follow button on your favorite app, or just sign up for a daily email right to your inbox at thenewsworthy.com. And if you want to read more about any of the news stories we talked about today, check out today's show notes. You can find them at thenewsworthy.com, click episodes, and find today's date. The Newsworthy is ready for you to listen every weekday by 4 in the morning Eastern Time, so we will chat again tomorrow. Have a great day.